you're looking to buy a big 7-seater electric car, at the moment one of the best options that you have is the Volkswagen ID Buzz. And soon Volkswagen will introduce an extended wheelbase version of the ID Buzz, offering even more space. However, if you want to have the biggest electric car, this is the one to get. This is the Kia EV9, and this car is gigantic. If I look small on camera, it is because this car is just huge. In fact, the car is 5 centimeters longer than the extended wheelbase version of the ID Buzz, to put things in perspective. Now in this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this EV9. I'm going to show you the interior, the exterior, and we're going to take it out for a drive. Hey guys, welcome in the Kia EV9, the biggest Kia I have ever driven. I'm pretty sure this is one of the biggest Kias they have ever made. This car is even bigger than the Kia Telluride, which is not available in Europe, but it is available in the United States. But this car is even bigger than that car. In a minute, I'm gonna do a tour around the car and also here in the interior. But let's start with the specifications and also with the price. Now, depending on where you live, this car starts around 68,000 euros. Then you get the base spec car, obviously, but you do get the big battery pack. That is a 99.8 kilowatt hour battery pack. They do offer a smaller battery pack with around 77 kilowatt hours, but they don't offer it yet in Europe. I'm not sure if they will offer it in Europe, but at this moment they don't. So as standard, you get the big battery pack, almost 100 kilowatt hours, giving the entry-level car a range, WLTP, of 563 kilometers. Now if you go for the all-wheel drive version, that car starts at around 79,000 euros. You also get the big battery pack, but that car has dual electric motors, giving this car a range of 505 kilometers. So a little bit less, but you do get substantially more horsepower, giving this car a 0 to 100 time or 0 to 60 time of 6 seconds. However, if you go for the GT line, you can get some extra torque, around 100 Newton meters, and then this car will do 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds, which is amazing. It's mind-blowing. For such a big car, the car is longer than 5 meters. It weighs more than 2.5 tons if you go for the all-wheel drive version, and it does almost 0 to 60 miles an hour in 5 seconds. Now if you go for the entry-level version with the 204 horsepower single motor on the rear axle, that car will do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 9.4 seconds, so substantially less acceleration in that version. And just like any other Kia, the EV9 has a really good charging speed. Just like the EV6, this car can charge up to 240 kilowatt, which is just exceptionally fast. There aren't a lot of brands that have faster charging electric cars, only like Hyundai and of course Tesla, which makes this car really suitable for long distance traveling. And I would say even with like a caravan, for example. Now usually electric cars and caravans, they don't really mix. However, if you got a pretty decent range like this car, and especially if you got a very decent charging speed, it doesn't really matter because you just charge the car up in like 20 minutes and you're good to go for a couple of hours. And this car is very much capable of towing a big caravan because it can tow up to 2,400 kilos, which is a lot for an electric car. But you do have to go for the all-wheel drive version because the rear-wheel drive version can only tow 900 kilos, which is not that much. Now obviously Kia is a Korean manufacturer, but this car looks like an American car. Proportion-wise, it's a big SUV, but it also drives like an American car. It is very comfortable. This is not a sporty European car. It is very comfortable here. And that's basically all you need in a 7-seater. Why would you want to have a sporty 7-seater? You're just going to make people ill in the back. It also means you probably shouldn't be driving too fast on roads like these. I'm driving in the south of France here on the Côte d'Azur on very curvy roads. And yeah, if you're going a little bit too fast, you can really notice the car is kind of leaning over a little bit because of all the weight. But overall, you get what you need in a car like this, and that is a comfortable driving experience. Let's do a quick walk around the car, although the car is pretty massive, so I'm not sure how quick it's gonna be. Let's talk about the exterior design. This is the first Kia that has the new Kia design language, and a lot of new Kia models will also look a little bit like this car. The new design language has a lot of sharp angles, not a lot of round angles. It's pretty minimalistic, like you can see on this EV9. Here on the front end design, there are not a lot of angles, not a lot of curves. It's basically just a sharp panel here at the front. You do still get the tiger nose grille that you have on all the Kia models, but this is the digital tiger nose grille, as I like to call it at Kia. So it's a little bit more minimalistic. Of course, you do get the big Kia logo here on top, and on the lower part of the bumper you get this skid plate. It's not really a skid plate, it is made out of plastic, obviously. And on the lower part you also get these active shutters here that can open and close. So if the car needs a little bit more cooling, they open up, and if the car doesn't need that much cooling, they close off, making the car a little bit more aerodynamic. The car has a drag coefficient of 0.28, so it's actually pretty slippery, pretty aerodynamic. Then let's talk about the headlight situation, which is pretty funky. You got this massive daylight running light that apparently mimics a constellation. And the headlight unit itself is made out of a lot of square LED elements. I've never seen that before on a car, also looking pretty funky. Then the side profile, what really stands out are the wheel arches that are massive, and they have this glossy black finish, which I think looks pretty cool, but I'm not sure how long it will look this shiny because it's not really scratch resistant. The wheels are massive. These are the biggest wheels that you can get. They are 20-inch wheels, but you can also get 20 and 19-inch wheels. The tail lights also mimic a constellation, apparently. I'm not sure what constellation Kia means. Anyway, that's what they tell me. The charge port door is located here, and you can just press the button and it will open automatically, and it will also close automatically if you press a button here. Now the back end design again is pretty minimalistic. You do get this massive spoiler here on top, and of course the big Kia logo here. Let's have a look at the trunk capacity. Now you can just press this button and it will open automatically, but you can also press a button on the key fob. Now the trunk capacity is 333 liters, which is really easy to say if English is not your first language, and you do get some underfloor storage here as well. However, there's not a lot of space here. Now you can flip all the seats automatically with 4 individual buttons, which is pretty luxurious, especially in a Kia. Can you imagine a Kia in 2023 having 4 buttons to fold down all the 4 individual seats? And you don't need to flip up the seats back manually, you can also flip them back up by using the buttons again. Again, can you imagine a Kia in 2023? And let's not forget the car also has a frunk, so some storage space under the hood, under the bonnet. You can now open the hood with the key fob, so you can just press a little button here on the key fob, and if you hold it for a couple of seconds, it opens. Which is really helpful because a lot of electric cars where the frunk don't have that. You have to open the bonnet manually in the footwell, but now you can open it with just the key fob. And as you can see, the frunk doesn't have a lid, so you get really easy access. Now if you go for this all-wheel drive version, you get 52 liters of storage space here in the front. If you go for the rear-wheel driven version, you get 90 liters. You're probably not surprised to hear there's a lot of room here in the back. You get these sliding seats in the 6-seater, but if you want to have a 7-seater, you get a regular bench here in the back. Now you can slide the seats all the way to the front if you want to have a little bit more leg room for the passenger behind you, but if you want to have some more leg room yourself, you can just slide them all the way to the back. You get these folding armrests, and you can recline the seats as well, making it actually pretty comfortable here in the back. You get 2 USB ports. They're not located down here, but they are located in the front seats actually here on the side. Pretty clever, I'd say. What's also pretty clever is this table that you can slide out, as you can see. That actually holds a big cubby space, but also kind of works as a regular table, so to speak. You can also get heated seats and even ventilated seats here in the back as well. This particular car has that. Again, pretty luxurious for a Kia. And you also get these sun blinds as well. So you may wonder, what is the situation like all the way in the back of the EV9? Surely I won't fit here. Now actually I do. I actually don't have the seat all the way to the front. It's just in the middle position, and I still fit here quite comfortably. I'm 1.80 m, so not super tall, definitely not super short, and I'm still quite comfortable here, which is pretty outstanding because I rarely fit in the third row of a car, but I do fit here in the EV9. What is also pretty outstanding is the luxury that you get here all the way in the back. You get USB-C ports, you get some LED lights on top, you even get your own air vents, and there are some cup holders here, and you can even recline the seats here in the back. There are buttons on both sides that you can use to recline the seats again individually, again making the third row even a pretty pleasant place to sit. Here in the interior of the EV9 you get 3 screens in front of you, 4 if you include the head-up display. Now here in the center, obviously, you get the digital infotainment system. Here right in front of you, you get a digital gauge cluster, and in between you get this little screen that shows you the climate information. And this car has actual physical climate control buttons, which I'm really happy to see, because nowadays all the car manufacturers want to have this minimalistic interior without any buttons, but in reality that is really annoying sometimes, especially if you just want to set the temperature in the car. Sometimes you have to fiddle around in the infotainment system. It can be really annoying, but not in this Kia EV9. You get a physical button to set the temperature, higher or lower, and you also get a physical button to set the fan speed. You also get some haptic feedback buttons, so they are not really physical buttons, but you can press them with your fingers, so you get home, map, search, media, and setup. These are basically hotkeys, so shortcuts for the infotainment system. Now you also get this floating center console here with some storage space beneath it, and you also get 2 cup holders here, and also a space where you can charge your phone wirelessly, and of course some cubby space under the armrest as well. And overall I would say this Kia EV9 is a very interesting car, not just because of the impressive specifications, so the very impressive range, the charging speed, and also the performance, but mainly because this car doesn't have any competition at this moment. I mean, of course, you got the Tesla Model X, which is more expensive than this car. And then there's the Mercedes-Benz EQB, that is a lot smaller than this car. And the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV is way more expensive. That car is way more luxurious. It's a completely different segment. And I don't think I can come up with any other competition. This car is so big, but it is still electric and it still has a decent range. There isn't just any other car like it at the moment. So unless another car manufacturer makes a car like this that is cheaper, this is just a very good deal if you're looking for a very big electric car. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button, and then I'll see you in the next one.